You hear that? You hear that sound? It's the weekend. It's here. We made it. Weather outside is fantastic. It's great. It's Friday, September the 12th. We are on the downside of hurricane season now. We're not out of it yet, but we're past the midway point. You know, everything's coming up, Christopher, and coming up, Kathleen. There she is.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. Listen, it's Friday. We made it through the week. Well, almost through the week. You're closer to the end of your week than I am.
I am.
You're an hour and a half away from
right,
it.
right.
And then it begins for you. But yeah, we made it. An eventful week. A lot going on this week. So much going on this week.
Yeah, busy news week. It's felt like a really long week to me, but then again, I was off last week, so that may have something to do with it. But it's been a long week.
It takes a while once you've been on vacation to come back, kind of get back. And like that first Monday you're back, you're like, how many days are in this week?
Right. You just feel overwhelmed, you know?
Yeah. But back into the groove. And I got to tell you, I got up this morning and went to go walk the dogs and go for my morning run. And it wasn't like fall-like weather, but you could tell it was better outside than it's been.
Right. It's
maybe grading on a
taste.
curve, but
yeah,
a little taste of it.
You can tell it's on the way.
Yes, it is on the way. So Candace has a full forecast for us here, including some pretty decent temperatures this weekend. Here's Candace Campos.
A couple more scattered showers are back into the forecast across Central Florida. Not for everyone, but we will continue to see a couple more rounds of rain throughout your Friday afternoon, but drier for some, all depending on where you're going to be for your Friday. But then as we head into the weekend, much more comfortable conditions. Humidity levels are on the decline. Temperatures will continue to stay below average, so a really nice weekend is in store. Not cooler, just more comfortable, but we are still in the middle of September, which is why we are still watching one wave out there in the far eastern Atlantic. So as we look here at the satellite and radar composite, that same stationary front that kind of weakened and just stayed overhead for the past couple of days is now shifting further south. But we have a little bit of kind of a fly in the ointment to our drier weather pattern. It's the development of this area of low pressure within the last few hours, and that is going to continue to lift and pull away. But as it does so, it will allow for some of that moisture associated with that low to kind of wrap around into the forecast, keeping rain chances a little higher than yesterday. But again, not a washout, nothing compared to what we dealt with at the start of the work week. So as we take here hour by hour for your finally Friday forecast, temperatures this afternoon back into those mid to upper 80s. Our average for this time of the year is about 91. So we are running below average with our rain chances back up to about a 30 to 40%. It's all really going to be dependent, though, on where you're going to be for your Friday. So across our southern zones, Brevard County primarily into parts of southern Osceola, will have our highest chance for rain, about a 50 to 60%. More in the yellows, we're talking about a 30 to 40% as far inland as about the I-4 corridor. And our far western zones up and down 75, rain chances do go down even further. So as we look here, the clouds and rain futurecast by about 2 o'clock, there will be that potential. You can see the bulk of moisture will still be out to sea, but some of that could hold and push again as far inland as about the Orlando area right along I-4. A couple of those downpours could linger till as late as about 7 o'clock, so it's going to be a pretty close call maybe to some of those Friday night football games. I do see most of us drying out nicely for your Friday night and continuing that drying trend very nicely into Saturday and Sunday as well. So how dry are we talking about? As that low pulls away, it will start to drag in that drier air. So the pocket of drier air, again, not only brings down rain chances, but also keeps those feels-like temperatures close to the actual temperatures. And that's exactly what we'll see both Saturday and Sunday. A couple of scattered showers can't be ruled out, but overall, the majority of us will be looking mostly dry. For those wondering what technically is the coolest point of the weekend, it will be early Sunday morning, right before sunrise. We will be seeing those overnight lows possibly getting down into the upper 60s, low 70s. Now, if we do hit about 72 degrees on Sunday morning in Orlando, for instance, it's been a while. The last time we hit that was back in the middle of July, but we had humidity with it. Tomorrow, or I should say on Sunday, that humidity won't be there like it was back in the middle of July. Quick check on the tropics. There is that new wave that is rolling off the coast of Africa. As of now, the National Hurricane Center giving it a 40% chance of potential development. We still have plenty of time to watch it. A lot of dry air, though, still ahead of it. So again, nothing to be too concerned about over the weekend. Sit back, enjoy the weather. We certainly need a nice little dry stretch that will continue into next week.
It seems like not that long ago we were trying to get some rain. Everything was dry around here. Fires, blazing up all along the coast over in Brevard, especially. And now it's almost like the retention ponds are too full. All right. Thank you, Candace. Um, Major developments today in the shooting death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. A suspect has been arrested. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was arrested. And I want to bring something up here. This is one of those things with when you have an incident like this happen, and especially in this day of digital media and social media and everything so instantaneous, in the direct aftermath after the shooting, there were pictures circulating online of suspects being arrested. Ooh, suspect arrested. Both those people were detained, but they were immediately cleared and released. And the misinformation starts to then come out of like, oh, it was this person, it was this one, and it was neither of them. Up to and including the FBI director, erroneously tweeting out that the suspect was in custody on Wednesday. Well, in fact, he wasn't, and it's been a manhunt for the last day and a half. But early this morning, it was confirmed finally that a suspect had been arrested. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson arrested as the FBI and, of course, Utah police continue to investigate. CBS's Andres Gutierrez has a full report.
We got him.
Authorities identified the suspected gunman in Wednesday's fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
The development comes after the FBI released surveillance video overnight of a person seen on a roof, then jumping down.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" "Catch!"
Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in.
President Trump broke the news on Fox and Friends, saying a minister and the father of the suspect helped in the arrest.
I hope he was going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
The 31-year-old conservative activist was shot and killed Wednesday at Utah Valley University during one of the college campus debates that he became famous for. On Thursday, Vice President J.D. Vance, who is a close friend of Kirk's, along with the second lady and Kirk's widow, escorted his body home to Arizona on board Air Force Two. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
And of course, more details will come out about the suspected killer, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, in the coming days as both the FBI and, of course, state police continue their investigation into this murder. One of the things that has happened in the wake of this, and it's not directly tied to it, but it's hard not to see the two tangled together, is on Thursday, an anonymous threat went out, mostly to HBCUs. If you were watching this program yesterday at 12:30, we reported it as breaking news. The historically black colleges and universities, including Bethune-Cookman, got this very racist, very generic, but yet still threatening message sent to them. And the message went to several other universities beyond just the HBCUs. And some of them, including where I teach, University of Central Florida, received the message. Now, at UCF, the police department reviewed the message, took a look at it in its totality and said, you know what, we're going to increase security. We're going to increase a presence here on campus, but we're not shutting the campus down. We're not locking things down. We don't believe this threat to be credible. I had students reach out to me throughout the day asking, Professor Heath, are you still having class? And I said, listen, the campus isn't shut down, but if you don't feel safe, you don't feel safe. So do what you think is best. I won't penalize you for not coming. I'll put some slides up online for you, and we'll move on with this. But obviously the HBCUs, who were more directly targeted than UCF, took a different course, and one, again, to try and protect students in this heightened time where it feels like we're kind of somewhat of a tinderbox. It's hard not to say the safe thing to do is to lock everything down until you can figure out what's going on. Angie Casada was out at Bethune-Cookman this morning as students finally found out at about 7:30 this morning that the lockdown had been lifted and classes would resume.
After more than 12 hours of uncertainty, Bethune-Cookman University students are finally breathing a sigh of relief. Early Friday morning, the school lifted its lockdown and stay-in-place order. one that was issued following a nationwide threat targeting several HBCUs.
When I got that email, they didn't specifically say it was a threat. It was more like it was a lockdown.
Sophomore Kamari Bickley, like many students aware of recent threats, immediately feared the worst.
So when I was thinking, I thought there was a shooter on the campus, and I was freaking out really, really bad because at that time I was getting ready for my class. But a few minutes later, they sent an email saying that it was a threat.
It's been concerning a little bit, like not letting us like look out the windows or not be on our phones. It's just been like overwhelming and stressful.
Campus leaders sent out multiple emails and text alerts overnight, urging students to stay inside until it was safe.
I've heard we gotten a few emails in between from our president. So I think in terms of response, I think it was a very good response time.
No threat was ever found on campus or at any other university. For now, Bethune-Cookman will return to normal operations while keeping security in place. Students tell me while the lockdown was stressful, today they're grateful to be back in class, and they say the quick communication from the school gave them peace of mind. Reporting in Daytona Beach, I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Angie Casada, News 6.
I opened up my class yesterday by telling my students that, come to class. I want you in class, but if you don't feel safe, you don't feel safe. And as I said that, it dawned on me, this is our reality. The reality is that there's 2 buttons in my class to push to lock down the whole building. That and the fire alarm. It's all there. Why? Because we now live in a world where these things happen. Violence is everywhere. Anyway, we'll be right back. Welcome back to News 6 Extra. I am Christopher Heath. Over the summer, the Osceola County School District made some changes to the way it was going to structure classes, the way it was going to put students in different classes and combine some things together. The idea, according to the district at the time, was to broaden things out and expose students to more opportunities. But what many teachers and some parents are finding this early into the school year is that it's not working out the way they had hoped. They took their concerns to the school board and explained their frustration with the way Osceola is currently running its school, saying children are missing out on learning opportunities. Mark Lehman has this story.
With this change, some parents say there are issues with their child adjusting to general education classes, and others say there are problems after their ESE student has been transferred to a hub school, which could be several miles away. All of this has led to calls for the district to take further action.
You've created a crisis situation.
After a month into the school year, tensions are rising over changes to special education in Osceola County Public Schools.
Our teachers are quitting. Our ESP support staff are quitting.
This week, the teachers union called on the school board for more support and training. That's in response to a new policy consolidating ESE classrooms into designated hub schools. It also reintroduced some special needs students into general education.
The gen ed teachers are having these students come in that aren't prepared for the rigor of the gen ed curriculum.
Daryl Greenwood is a special education advocate and says the changes have led to behavior issues for many of the students she works with.
We have all of these other kiddos that are suffering and not having the proper support and learning environment.
The district says the change was in response to state standards for inclusivity and to better address the learning challenges of all students. The superintendent saying the idea of change takes time and expects a lot of problem solving along the way.
We are not turning back. We are going to make sure that our students are as successful as they possibly can be.
On top of the calls for help, the teachers union has also asked the district to reconvene its special needs advisory committee. At this point, the superintendent has not indicated if that will happen, only saying that supporting students is a priority. In Osceola County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
It's the weekend, almost weekend adjacent. It's good enough. But, you know, when we roll into Fridays, we do so with a good list of things to go out and do this weekend. And Michelle Morgan, meteorologist Michelle Morgan, is kind enough each week to put together the 6 things you can do.
I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan, looking for something fun to do this weekend. Well, there'll be a few showers and it'll be toasty, but I have a great indoor event for you. Head over to the Orlando Family Stage where Go Dog Go will be happening. I spoke to the artistic director, Jeff Revels, about what you can expect.
We can expect joy and we can expect fun and whimsy and remembering the book that we all grew up with. And the book really is celebrating language, but it also celebrates everyday stuff and making the ordinary extraordinary.
It runs every weekend through October 5th and tickets start at $20. Check out the Orlando Pen Show this weekend at the Florida Hotel and Conference Center. Over 100 vendor tables with pens and accessories for sale. Beat the heat with family science fun. Enjoy Kennedy Space Center's STEAM experience at Crayola Experience Orlando on Saturday from 11 a.m. through 2:30. Check out Mount Dora's Pitmasters and Pourers, the ultimate beer, bourbon, bacon, and barbecue event. It's Saturday from 3 to 8 p.m. at Elizabeth Evans Park. Join 21 and up outdoor party at Orlando Booze and Bites at Festival Park on Saturday from noon to 5 p.m. Your ticket includes an open bar and $5 or less delicious bites. Noises Off, a fast-paced comedy full of laughs, opens this weekend at Surfside Playhouse in Cocoa Beach. Tickets are $32. Have a fun event coming up? Send it my way. Many events come from viewers like you. You can head over to our News 6 app or clickorlando.com. Just click Contact Us.
All right, Kathleen. Listen, Michelle had me at the Mount Dora one. Beer, brisket, and bourbon.
Right. I know. I perked up at that too. I was like, oh. It's like, I like a good brisket. It's like, may have to check that one out.
Yes, nothing like the burnt ends. That's always my favorite part. You get that nice char on there.
Right. I know. It's going to be nice weather, so hey, maybe I'll venture out to Mount Dora, you know?
It will be nice weather. It is a bit of a, I mean, from where I live over on the east side of Orange County, so it's a bit of a hike for me to get out there, but it's a nice little area. We did a couple years back, we went out there for the, they did the train ride for Christmas out there. So, Polar Express.
Right.
And the kids got like they got a little jingle bell and they came around with hot chocolate. It was cute. It was very cute. It was fun. My wife got us all matching PJs. That wasn't as fun.
That sounds adorable.
It was probably one of those core memories the kids will always have, and I will always be like, oh yeah, I remember the PJs. This was a good time had by all. Anyway. All right. A couple of weeks ago, we reported on ketchup flavored ice cream, and I think we both agreed that that was an abomination, and that neither of us had read the Book of Revelation in a while, but it's probably in there somewhere that that's going to be one of the signs of the apocalypse. But there could be a second one now: sunscreen flavored ice cream, which if it tastes like sunscreen smells, that's okay, because sunscreen does smell pretty good. It's a nice coconut smell to it. If it tastes like sunscreen tastes, we've got a problem. Sunscreen's mainly zinc and other things designed to coat your body so that light reflects away. And so I would assume we're not packing this thing full of elements from the periodic table. But then again, well, I guess technically everything's elements from the periodic table. But then my broader point, and I do have one, is yes, I don't know exactly if that's going to work, but okay. So ingredients include coconut cream, cocoa butter, vanilla extract, and sea salt. So basically, it's like a coconut ice cream by Carnival Cruise Lines. What are your thoughts?
I like the smell of sunscreen, but I just don't know. I think it's just the name gets me. It's like sunscreen flavored ice cream. If they called it like coconut flavored ice cream, then I'd probably try it.
But if they called it coconut flavored ice cream, it would not have made the high standards of making it onto News 6 Extra.
Right, that's right. We have very high standards for this.
Highest of standards.
No, that's true. I just wonder, all I can think about sunscreen is just when it gets in your eyes, and it burns. So I'm not sure that I'd want to eat sunscreen flavored ice cream.
Yeah, I don't either. But when you read the ingredients, it's like, okay, that's going to taste pretty good. But then again, most ice cream, like I can't think of an ice cream I've ever had where I've been like, no, thank you. Like usually for me, it's like one scoop leads to the whole container.
Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you. But you're right. I haven't really had ice cream that I would not try again.
We need to, and I've brought this up before, we need to figure out how to get some sort of ice cream sponsorship for this program.
Yes.
And I'm talking like, they can send it over. We'll eat it as we do the news. We'll talk about how delicious it is. Bluebell, Tillamook, if you're listening, I know you are. Send me ice cream now.
Right. Hopefully they got an alert. They heard it and got the alert.
Their corporate listening software that scans media for all mentions of the product name should do that, and then alert the CEO or CFO or all of them, I would assume, that they should be sending us some ice cream post-taste.
Maybe we just randomly just name drop throughout the show, so it keeps
Right.
they keep getting it,
We start just naming off products that we want. It's like
Right.
something Ferrari, something.
Right.
Yes, until that starts showing up at the door here.
There you go.
One can dream. Okay, so plans for the weekend? Anything other than maybe some brisket and bourbon?
I'm gonna decorate for fall. Just get caught up on some things. But I may venture out to Mount Dora. I think that's gonna be a good event.
Nice. My wife was kind enough to get all of our fall decorations down last weekend, so we're kind of there. And the nice thing is you can kind of roll straight out of fall, like September fall decorations, into Halloween, and then back out of Halloween into Thanksgiving with only a little bit of tweaking. Like all the pumpkins can stay and some of the other stuff. So we're kind of in that landing pad. It's nice. It's starting to feel a little bit fall-like outside. Got the pumpkins up at the house. It's coming together. I have to cut the grass because, as Candace mentioned, we've been in a rainy pattern. My yard looks like looks like a rainforest out there. There could be a tribe of people who haven't seen humanity living in that thing. So I got to get out there. I got to cut the bushes. Got to do the edging, and at some point, and I don't know when, I need to power wash. So, dad stuff.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long to-do list there.
It's a long to-do list. Yeah. So. It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Right. Just take it one at a time.
Exactly. I'm not gonna power wash this weekend. I probably won't. We'll see. Well, you know what? Cliffhanger for Monday. Will Chris power wash?
All right.
Tune in on Monday and see. All right, Kathleen, have a fantastic time with your decorations. And if you do get out to Mount Dora, let me know. Take some pictures. Tell us how the brisket was and how the the beer and the bourbon was, and enjoy some cooler temperatures. And
Absolutely.
We'll see you back here on Monday. All right, so thank you for watching News 6 Extra. Of course, we break news all the time on clickorlando.com. We'll be on the air today starting at 4 o'clock. But again, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you right back here at 12:30 on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.